fundamental problem here is that headphones are a miraculous thing. You put on a pair of headphones and you get the same experience you get with a great pair of speakers. There's no such thing as headphones for video, right? There's not something I can carry with me that I can put on and it gives me the same experience I get when I'm watching my, 50-inch plasma display at home.
This is a true revolution. I took my time to make this review. I wanted to properly test and live with this headset for over a week. I wanted to truly understand this device. And oh my God, did it deliver. This is a true revolution, and it's gonna be a long review. You'll see a lot of raw emotions, and you'll see a lot of things and a lot of thoughts. You'll hear a lot of thoughts from me. As you know, I don't write scripts. I like to talk directly. I like to talk about things I think. I like to say as it is. And this headset is just amazing. Now, is it perfect? No, it's not. But is it the closest we've ever gotten to experience the true magic of XR? Full potential of the future use cases? Yes, it is. To give you a perspective, I've been using VR for what's now almost 8 years. And I've used every single headset on the market, or probably 99% of those headsets. I might have missed some of them. And I continue to power use VR every day. I use VR between 1 and 3 hours every day, probably closer to like 2 hours on average. And this device surprised me. This device made me emotional. This device made me feel in such a way I've not felt in years, maybe ever in some cases. It is a very powerful device. Not in a raw power of computing, which it is very powerful by the way as well, but in a powerful of emotions. I am mainly a PC guy. I use Android as my main phone. I own iPhone as well, and I'll talk about it later. I'm a PC VR person. I use standalones from time to time, but I'm a PC VR user mainly. I built my own headset. I'm building VR1, a native PC VR, high-end PC VR headset. And I'm a big fan of VR. I am. I want this industry to succeed. I am running Somnium Space, which is a social VR world. It's a platform. So I'm deeply I'm deeply in this industry, and I'm shocked in a very positive way of what Apple has delivered and the way how they worked on things and the way how they see things. And today, in this review, we're going to discuss all of those things. So take your time, make a cup of coffee or tea, sit down, get comfortable, and let's start this long discussion about why I think this device will change everything. All right, let's talk about hardware first, because I think so many things have been said already about Vision Pro. I'll just quickly go through my thoughts about the hardware, and then we'll go into general experience. I think the hardware is absolutely stunning. I own all the VR headsets on the market. Heck, I create my own VR headset. And the hardware quality of Vision Pro, I think it's the best and the absolute pinnacle of what Apple and probably any other company could have built in 2024. I'm not saying this lightly. I'm not overhyping things. I just think that, genuinely think that, because if you look at the choice of materials, if you look at the color scheme, right? Even the color scheme, I think they nailed it, because you have darker gray here, you have lighter gray here, you have light gray there. It matches really well with this aluminum body. And then of course this black glass is absolutely stunning. And when you hold it in a hand, you feel like you're holding an incredibly sturdy and premium product. That is, to me, that is absolutely clear. Now, is it perfect? I'm sure it's not, and I'm sure there will be some flaws somewhere in the future. Maybe after 2-3 years of using it, you will see some tear and wear and stuff. But overall, the quality is amazing. And what is also amazing is that when you take this product, when you look at this product, you immediately know, subconsciously you know that this is an Apple product. And I think that's the success for them. That's what they wanted, and they achieved that. Now, could they have gone, to the plastic and shave off some weight? Yeah, they could. Do they need to do that for this product? I certainly believe they should not. I think what they did is amazing, and in terms of usability, I will talk about this later, but they nailed the looks. They nailed the feels and the looks of this product. Like even this cap, it's an incredible material, soft inside. It's just a pleasure to use, and you can see how much thought they put into this. It's just a really, really well built product. Now the strap. I heard a lot of hate for this strap. And okay, let's talk about ergonomics as well in this segment, because I really want to go there. This strap is one of the most pleasant materials I've felt in a long time on any product, like literally. And I was joking with friends, and I was saying, like, I wish I could have a sweater and a pillow from this material. I would, I would go, if Apple Store would be here around the corner, I would go and buy probably, 20 of those, and then ask someone to make a sweater from that, or somewhere, because it's so nice. And the engineering of this tightening mechanism is amazing. It's absolutely stunning. It's easy to use. Now, I'm used to, for example, in not intentionally, but in VR1, I'm used to have a strap which I can put this part, so where it anchors here. I can put it like this up, so I can just take the headset on and then lower the upper back part down. Sure, it would be nice, but this is one of the coolest straps I've seen in a long time, maybe ever. And it's very comfortable. It is very comfortable, and it's possible to use it and wear it for hours. I'm daily driving this thing for 2 to 3 hours every day. I'm working in it. I'm consuming media in it, and I had no need to readjust. Now, you have to find the right position for you. So, because you can go, you can put the strap a little bit further down, further up, and tighten up a bit. You need to get used to it a little bit. You need to find your tango with this headset. But the moment you do it, the moment you find that sweet spot, you're good. You are absolutely good. Now, I like almost everything about how they've built it. The choice of materials, the choice of colors, the way how they deal with that. One thing where I would probably maybe improve for the next time In terms of the build quality, is obviously they will try to go with weight down, but it doesn't bother me. But this thing here, this soft material here between the lenses, it's a nice material, but because the way how the fabric is done, if the dust gets there, or I don't know, a hair or a just some dust, if it gets there, you can see it, and it's very hard to get it out. And obviously, if you're looking at this beautiful product and then you see like in the middle there's like a small white dot, and you cannot get it out because it anchors itself in that fabric. It's just a little bit annoying, so it's a little bit harder to do. I found a tool how I can take it out, but it's just, again, it's so minor. It doesn't matter. Beautiful product, unbelievable engineering. Myself building the VR headset, I can appreciate how much work we with the team, with the VR1 team who are building the VR1, the engineers, we looked at that and we're just like, yeah, they really, it's a marvel in engineering. So well done, Apple. Materials, ergonomics, in my opinion, absolutely okay. You don't need to cry about, listen, if you complain about how heavy this headset is with this strap, literally, if it tells me more about you are not being the VR daily enthusiast, or I've been daily driving VR for 7+ years. So it tells me more about you and your habits rather than about the weight of Vision Pro. Because first of all, you have to remember, they give you this out of the box, amazing strap. They give you another one out of the box, which is looks less amazing. For some, it's good. For some, it's not. I'm not using that strap. I'm using this exclusively, and I'm absolutely happy with that. But you have to remember, there will be so many third-party accessories to the Vision Pro. And by the way, they will be all with such a high quality, and higher quality than any other accessories for any other headset ever built. You have to remember that. So there will be rigid straps with inbuilt audio. Like, there will be so many things built and sold for Apple Vision Pro. Give it 2 months and you will see an app. So this product, ergonomics wise, will get only better. It will get much better support. And again, I'm just loving it. Okay, stop this recording. Stop. I think now it's time to talk about the experience itself, because I don't want to go through specs. I'll probably name some specs during the experience descriptions I will do, and I will tell you why I think those specs are important and why I think some of the things are way better than anything we had on the market. So first, setup. When I got this headset, first of all, I was so excited. When I got this headset, I went through the setup process. Over the 7+ years of using VR headsets, building my own social VR company, VR headset, this was the easiest, the smoothest, and the coolest onboarding VR experience I've ever had. The reason for that is that I turn on the Vision Pro, I put it on my head, instantly my phone, and in my case it was my iPad, recognizes that the Vision Pro is nearby. It says, do you want to get started? You say yes, and then it creates the code, and you go through this process. Super easy. You go through the process, you calibrate with the eyes and stuff, you scan your hands, you scan your persona. We'll talk about persona a bit later. And you're in. You're instantly in. And your messages are there, your emails are there, your settings are there, your Apple Pay is there. Everything is set up for you the first moment you take this headset on. This is a huge deal. The onboarding is absolutely incredible. The way how you use, obviously, pinch to interact and stuff, it's amazing. And it's so well done. It's so well done that it feels magical even during the onboarding when you do it for the first time. Now, one thing I'm always a bit, the thing I don't like on other headsets is automatic IPD adjustment. Now, it is fine it is fine to automatically adjust your IPD. I'm getting it. It's something. What Apple does really well is that not only they adjust your IPD automatically, but each lens moves separately, because for the IPD, it's not, you know, your eyes could be in a different position. And on the one side, it could be a little bit further away, and on the other side, it could be closer to the center. And that's why it's important that the lenses are actually moving separately. And I think that's one of the first, if not the first headset which has it. On VR1, we actually wanted to do that. I'm still a fan of manual IPD adjustment. Why? Because I sometimes want to maybe adjust. The headset might think that the lens should be here. Maybe for my personal feel, I want to move it a little bit further, or give me the electronic way to do it, or give me the slider. I just like the smooth adjustment of the sliders. But nevertheless, what they did right is that they brought this separate independent IPD adjustment to Vision Pro. Smart move. And obviously, I understand why they did it in terms of the automatic adjustment. They wanted people to have easiest onboarding experience. And it's great. It's absolutely great. Another amazing thing for onboarding is, of course, I set up all my Vision Pro. I've tried some experiences, and then I gave this to my friends and some of the colleagues here. And I turned on the guest mode. I could easily choose which apps I want them to use, and I handed them the headset. They take it on. Instantly, they're being adjusted, onboarded the same way as I did. 1 minute, and they're in. And the fact that this was so easy to give to someone else and not to worry about the apps, how do I see it? Because we can mirror and screen mirror to iPad, so I can navigate them if I want to. It's just such a well thought through process that it was just incredible, literally incredible. And the best thing is when they take it off the guest mode, when they're done with the guest, they give it to me back. I take it on, and my mode is back right automatically. So the guest mode is off the moment they take it from their head. Smart. And this is just another, it just shows you how they thought about almost everything in this headset. They didn't want to leave any room for unfinished things. They really tried to nail it as much as possible for the version 1, as much as possible. You can feel it from this product. You can really feel it. So onboarding is great, ergonomics great. The eye tracking obviously works like a charm. The IPD adjustment is amazing, and the guest mode is great. So overall, I would give Apple 9.5 out of 10 already now. I can only imagine how better it will become in the near future, or in 1 year, or maybe with the second generation of this even. So onboarding and everything else is just a charm, and everybody will be able to understand it, no matter age and their qualifications. Okay, I think at this point of the review, I have to split myself in half, because one of my parts is just a pro user, someone who is an enthusiast, who loves VR, XR, and all things related to immersive technologies. And then another part of myself is someone who is building his own VR headset in some new space called VR1, and who is deeply involved in the tech part of the development. So, I've seen this industry from within. I'm seeing this industry from within. And I think I have to split, because there are a few things which I mentioned as a developer, as someone who understands the hardware deeply. And then there's a lot of things I want to mention as someone who is just a user, who is a pro user and loves VR. And let's start with that, because I think, let me put my pro user enthusiast hat on. And from the moment I got this device, and this is not just only my opinion, we had several people here trying it. Also those who are everyday VR users who know VR very well. This captivated us. This device is incredible. And there are several reasons. Throughout this review, I will be I'm telling you the story, which will be 1,000 small things which equal in the end to one big win. And I think that's the Vision Pro. Because
you see a lot of videos online, and one of my videos went viral when Mark Zuckerberg wanted to compare Quest 3, which is this device, to Vision Pro. And I had to laugh, right? Because he's just not right. And the reason is, you cannot just take this device and say, look, Quest 3 can do 80% of those things, but at 1/7 of the price. So it's a no-brainer buy. I don't think it is, because this device does things better, in some ways incrementally better, in some ways absolutely insanely better than any other device on the planet. And that's why this device and this type of device will go mainstream, and that's why the other devices are still struggling with a niche. Let me give you an example. Let's talk about, for example, the eye tracking and the precision of eye tracking. Now, eye tracking is nothing new in VR headsets, yet in Vision Pro, they nailed it because they use 4 cameras instead of 2 cameras, and they nailed the precision of the eye tracking here. So that the interactions, when you look at something and you pinch with your fingers, it's instantaneous. The latency is very small, and it's very precise. Now, again, every evening when you look at your devices and you think whether you want to use it or not, these are the small things, these are the small factors your brain unconsciously even thinks about. And that's those micro things make you to your decision about making or using this device every day. The eye tracking is one thing, right? You just look somewhere, it works, and it's precise, and it works probably 9.5 times out of 10, probably even more. So it's really, really precise. The hand gesture, the pinch, the zoom works amazingly well. Now this device has cameras. Let me take the cover up, down. So this device has cameras also here in the bottom. It has sensors all over the place. It also has IR blasters, so they are lighting up your hands to be better seen by the cameras, and that equals to an insanely precise hand tracking. Now I've heard even Mark Zuckerberg incorrectly said that the hand tracking on Quest 3 is better.
Both headsets support hand tracking, but I found ours to be a little more accurate.
Not at all, not even near. And those people who say that the latency of hand tracking on the Quest 3 is better, they're not right, because the latency of the pass-through of what you see in the headset is around about 35, 38 milliseconds, which is around about what the hand tracking is. So your brain kind of perceives in Quest 3 that the hands are with the same latency, and it's a better latency, but in the reality, this has 11 millisecond latency from photon to photon, so from photon to your eye. And that's why the hand tracking is slightly slower than the actual pass-through of the Apple Vision Pro, and that's why you perceive that it might be a little laggy, but it's not, and it's insanely precise. And how I know it? First of all, I use this thing for more than 2 weeks now, or for 2 weeks now, every freaking day for several hours. I work in this thing. I'm not just watching movies, I work in this thing, and I'll explain you my setup later. And even typing on the digital keyboard, which I could never do in any other headset because it was annoying, imprecise, never worked properly. In this headset, if I want to type something quick, I do it. I just, put my fingers like this, and it works really, really good. Whether they are helping the hand tracking with eye tracking, which is great, let them do it, or whether they do something else, but the precision is there, and it's working really great. Even the apps, which are not designed for Vision Pro, so things like Discord, Telegram, the native iPad apps, you open them up, they work flawlessly on Vision Pro. You put them closer, and then you have those small buttons, right? Because some buttons are not designed to be, looked at and clicked, and you just need to click with a finger. And there is a small send button or a plus button. You click on it, and it works all the time. And this is insane, right? And again, this is the thing which makes the difference between, it's a gimmick, I probably won't use it, I'd rather sit down next to my computer and work, And this where you say, wow, I'm gonna take it, open my MacBook, just click connect, and I'm there. I have 5 windows and I'm working. That's the difference. And I think so that's another example. Another example, and I know many people will laugh at this, but it's kind of important to me. Especially during the workday, for the beautiful hair I have.
Need to slow down, some sexy music here.
For the beautiful hair I have, this strap doesn't interfere with my hair. It just doesn't. And first of all, it's comfortable for me. I already told you before, but it doesn't interfere with my hair. So I take it on, I take it off, and my hair stays the same. Now that's important too, and as funny as it sounds, but it is. So even this thing, those small things where you think about and say, will I work in this thing today? Will I take it on in the office? Will I take it in the evening at home to do some work? This is something which makes a big difference. So let's try to think about other examples. Other small examples where you would say, hey, how different this is in comparison to any other headset. Why would I use this, and why am I using this every day instead of it lying down and not using it at all? I think a lot of comes to software experience. In the software, there's a lot of things they did smart. I think there's a lot of things like ecosystem, right? You open the app, you open an email, it's synced with your devices. You connect your Mac. Now, let's talk about setup. How do I have my setup, and why I'm using this device every freaking day? So let's speak about this setup I have, because that's important. That's what makes me use this thing. And right off the bat, I can say this device is magical. It's incredible. It's unbelievable coming from someone who uses VR and XR 7 years almost every day. But this device is not for everyone. And let me explain. So it is heavily dependent on how you work and what you do, right? Because let's say half of my work is communicating with the team and agreeing and designing some experiences in Somnium, talking about the features and stuff like that. And then half of the work is testing those features in Somnium space in VR, going, and meeting with community in Somnium space. Spending time in other social VR worlds, understanding how, the dynamics and kind of understanding everything, and also enjoying it. So that's how I work. And then most of the time I do some emailing during the day when I have time. I have some meetings spread out. So I do a lot of Zoom calls. I do a lot of Google Meets. And then in the evening, I have a downtime where, when the family goes to sleep, I sit down normally next to my computer at the work table, and then I just work and reply to some emails, catch up with the day, the classical catch up with the day for several hours. And that has changed because, and I did deliberate change, right? Because I am the Windows user. I have iPhone and I have MacBook, but I've done it only to prepare myself, like 1.5 years ago, to prepare myself to this. So I knew that this is coming. I wanted to prepare myself, so I bought an iPhone. I kind of got myself into ecosystem. But what I see is like I have a Windows laptop as my home daily driver, and then I have a home VR PC, which with 4090 and some crazy specs. And that home Windows laptop just wasn't making it for me anymore. It was not enough. The reason is mainly it's cooling. It will spin up the fans so hard that it was disturbing. It just didn't feel well. It always spin up those fans, and then it went down and up and down. It's just you feel like you're sitting next to it. Even if I'm listening to the music, it just disturbs you. It's kind of like a roller coaster. And on Macs, on the other hand, on MacBook Pro, they do have fans, but they rarely spin up, and you almost never hear them. And that's incredible, right? I don't want to hear fans when I'm using my Outlook, a few of the browser tabs, some apps and stuff. I just don't want to hear those. If I use Blender, of course, I can understand it, but you know, nothing. If it's nothing crazy, then I don't want to hear fans. And that's exactly what MacBook delivers. So I took a decision, partly because of this device, and partly because of the just of the overall experience. I said, look, I'll probably migrate to MacBook Pro. In my case, it will be MacBook Pro M3 Max. And I will use Parallels, not sponsored video, just great product, Hi Parallels. I'll use Parallels to run Windows at the same time as I run my MacBook. And I am in the middle of testing this setup, and I can tell you right away already now that it's incredible. And the good thing about it is that I have my MacBook, so now I'm using it, you know, I can go to the kitchen and I put it on and I just click connect with my Vision Pro and I can have the window wherever I want. But in the near future, I'll switch it to a setup where my setup will be at the working table, where sometimes also my wife works, and MacBook will stay there. But whenever I want to work on that MacBook with Vision Pro, I'll just take on Vision Pro, click connect, and then bring this window wherever I want to sit, because not always I want to sit, you know, I want to sit next to the working table. I can go to this on the sofa or in the kitchen, have a, you know, coffee or a tea and just work there. So that's my setup, and it works, and I'm testing it, and it's incredible. And I'm doing emails, so I'm running Windows on this, I'm running Mac on this. I'm basically doing all this stuff. So mainly I have my emails and my my browser windows and other like Excel tables and Word documents I have on my Mac on the screen. I use it as a split screen in Vision Pro. And then I have all other apps which normally would clutter my peripheral on my screen. I have them as separate Vision Pro apps, such as Discord, Telegram, Twitter. They have some news. Then I have some Safari windows open because of some spatial and ARKit stuff. And that is beautiful. That just makes my life, you know, beautiful. And the best part is, for example, one of the small things where you can just dial in the environment, but you can dial it in half. You don't need to switch between VR and AR. You can say, hey, I want to see just 40% of, like, just in front of me, I want to see the lake and the mountain. But in the peripheral vision, I still see my room. That's perfect, because I can sit, let's say I can sit in my kitchen and I can, you know, drink tea and work. And in front of me, it's beautiful scenery with a crisp image, amazing. But, you know, what if my kids wake up and they come in and I'm in my headphones, you know, isolated? I can still see them, right? I can still see my peripheral vision, and I can feel that I'm part of the environment, but kind of I'm looking in the different environment. It's magical. And again, this is one small thing which makes a huge difference, because that's what makes this device a go-to device every day, instead of just putting it on the shelf and saying, once in a while I'll just use it. So my setup is right now I feel like I'm 95% there. I had to change a little bit my habits, so I had to change my habits of how I work to better. I had to a little bit, you know, change the workflow. But it's to better. Like I'm not used to it yet, but I already feel that it's more productive, because I have those windows. I can, you know, one more thing, which is again very important. You have your Windows, you have your MacBook Pro, and then you have your trackpad and keyboard. And then you scroll on the trackpad. You go from MacBook, or in my case, Windows window, to Vision Pro app. To Discord, for example. So I'm just looking there, and my mouse is already there, and the trackpad works seamlessly across all the apps. Now that's beautiful. Again, that's a small thing which makes this device a go-to device every day instead of just a gimmick. That's amazing. Now, if you have a Magic Keyboard, when you type on the Magic Keyboard, there's a bar above the keyboard an AR bar, a virtual bar, which appears above the keyboard and shows you what you're typing. And the best thing is if you move the keyboard, it moves with that. So it tracks the keyboard and it moves the bar with that keyboard. Isn't that beautiful? That's the small thing. But that's what makes this device as a go-to device every day instead of being a gimmick. So my setup is changing, and I totally can see myself working on the go, for example, not even at home or in the office, but on the go. If I'm traveling somewhere, taking this device and this device only as the work device, or maybe this device and your MacBook, a perfect combination. You can work anywhere on the go in any circumstance, even if you have the smallest and the creepiest hotel room ever, or you're sitting in the economy class in the plane, or you're in a coffee shop and you want to isolate yourself. You just put AirPods Pro 2nd Gen with USB-C, which has high quality audio and low latency with this device. You put it on, you turn on noise cancelling, you turn on your MacBook, you have your environment, boom. You're still aware of the environment, you can see them if you want, but you are in your, I call it cocoon, you know, you're in your cocoon working, and you're being more productive because you're not being, you know, you're not trying to fit everything in the 14-inch screen, or you're not being kind of bothered by other sounds or even other visuals. That's beautiful. Like that is why this device will become productive and will become the mainstream, and it's becoming mainstream even at this price. I don't even want to mention the audio because audio is amazing. Even those speakers they included in here, they're great. I don't want to say they are the best of the best, but the combination of the speakers, the sound is very crisp and great. The combination of the spatial audio, what they did is incredible. Because spatial audio on this device is, look, I'm used to spatial audio in VR worlds like Somnium Space or VR Chat or others for ages now, right? We had spatial audio from the very beginning. It means that if I'm talking to someone and I'm turning around from that person and the person still talks, I can feel the sound shifts. I can feel that the sound shifts from my in my ears, and I know where the sound's coming from inside VR. That's normal to me. But what's not normal is how this device scans the room around you and then adapts the sound to sound exactly like in this room. That blew my mind, because I had a call with Robert Scoble on our Pixel Slaves podcast, and I had the Zoom window right in front of me, probably for the first half of the meeting, right? And I was sitting in this chair, and I was having the Zoom window in front of me, and the sound sounded great. It was clear, everything is fine. And then I decided, because I wanted to open a browser window and do something, I decided to move the Zoom window in the corner of my room, the other corner of my office. And when I did it, the sound expanded and started to kind of bounce off the walls and sound like as if they were in that corner of the room. And I was blown away. I said, wait a second. Okay, that's next level shit. Sorry for the stuff. That's incredible. And again, this is the small thing which makes this device a go-to device instead of being a gimmick. Let's go to some experiences and talk about the actual experiences of the apps and what did they do in software to make it even better. Software is another magic part of the Vision Pro. Let me give you examples instead of just telling you some beautiful things. The real example, which blew my mind. Again, I'm the person who uses VR for 7+ years in my life. Hardly anything blows my mind. Literally, I'm building my own headset, a high-end headset. So I'm just saying it, but for you to understand the importance and the weight of this moment for and the Vision Pro. So I came home, so I didn't feel super well one day, and I decided to go and lie down, and it was bright day, sunny day, window, sun was directly coming to the window, and I decided to go and lay down to have a rest. And I said, look, I'll take Vision Pro and I will watch some Star Wars in Disney+. Now, I take my Vision Pro, I lay down. First of all, great stuff that you can lay down, obviously, and then you put your screen in the right angle so you don't need to strain your eyes or neck or wherever. So I'm lying down, I have my big window of Disney Plus running, and then I said to myself, I don't want to see my room because it's sunny. I'll change it to the environment. So I changed it to environment. There's like the lake in front of me and the mountain. And then I say, it's a bright day, right? And then I say, let me change it to the night environment. And at that point, when I do it, everything changes. So first of all, environment becomes night, but also because I had the environment probably in half, so I still saw my room, I still saw the door to the room, so I can see if kids are coming in or not. But everything dims down. Everything becomes darker as if it was night. And the crazy part is the hands, which are amazingly well occluded in Vision Pro, and I can see hands above digital things, it works really, really well. Is it perfect? Not, but it's the best, and it's almost there. I even like how it a little bit shimmers a little bit. So it's kind of, you can feel it's a digital thing, but it just feels cool, hard to explain. And my hands become darker. So they apply the filter, the color filter on my hands to match to the environment. So I can see this moon, which is there, reflecting from my hands, and my hands become darker as if it was night. And at that point, my body, I instantly start feeling like my body relaxes as if it was a night, right? As if it was just night environment. It was during the day. It was like literally, 2 p.m. Sun is blasting through the window. And I felt like I was in the evening, during the night, and I felt like it was magical. And my body started to calm down. I felt like I'm relaxing more. And I was watching the Star Wars, and I fall asleep. I woke up in probably 15 minutes when there was a fight scene. It woke me up. But I felt so refreshed. And I woke up and I said, oh my God, this is another thing which they nailed, right? Because all those small things which lead to one huge experience. Hand occlusion and color grading based on the environment. Amazing. Ability to tune in and change the night mode and the day mode and light and dark environments, and how they even color grade the environment, the real environment, not only the digital, but the real environment around you. Amazing. The ability to just lay down, not having controllers, and just, pinch and look somewhere and just amazing. And again, those things make this as a go-to device instead of just being a gimmick. This is not a gimmick. This is an incredible device. It's expensive, but it's an incredible device. And this device can do everything perfectly except VR games. And that leads me to one conclusion. And we discussed this in, I don't know whether this video will come before or after the latest Pixel Slaves video, but there will be a future where we will own several headsets which are tailored to several different use cases. This headset is work and entertainment in terms of content consumption, 100%. This is the best work device and probably will stay for a long, long time. This is the best working device and the best entertainment device, period. And then you will have things like Quest 3 for just, throw in and play some games, or you have PC VR headset where you would play high-end PC VR immersive games, and that will be your VR experience, right? That's my setup right now. I use this for work, and I use VR1 headset for anything simulators related, anything work related, anything entertainment related. In terms of the social VR, that's my go-to device. I hook that to PC 4090. I ran it, and I have the best visual experiences for the games I can get. And here I have best visual and performance experience for my work. If I want to work, this is the device. Let me remind, in terms of some other experiences and some other small things in the ecosystem, you know, things like if you purchase something, it just scans your eyes and your Apple Pay stuff is already there. Very quick. And again, this small thing, did you try to buy something on Quest 3? Like on the internet? Jesus Christ. Crazy. But this thing works with Apple Pay out of the box. So any website which takes Apple Pay, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to type in on the virtual keyboard your address, your credit card number, look through it's just, you know, you don't need to do it. You just take this device, you press pay, the icon of your eye appears, it scans your eye, nice animation, nice sound, it does ding, and you're gone. You're done. You paid, and you're in. The same with the signing up with the Apple account. Anywhere on websites, anywhere in the apps, instantly. Amazing. That's what makes this as the go-to device instead of being a gimmick. I will repeat this throughout this review all the time. This is not a gimmick. This is an incredible machine. And I think it's time. I praised it a lot. I probably mentioned also entertainment. Apple TV, the immersive experiences and stuff. Let me touch upon that because I think this is important before we go into technical things, in my opinion, on the technical side. Video and audiovisual entertainment in this device. Wow. Wow. Apple TV Plus, they re-encoded 150 plus movies to run in 3D. I've watched Ready Player One movie probably 6-7 times, obviously. And then I rewatched that movie in Vision Pro in 3D. Jesus fucking Christ. It felt like I'm watching the new movie all over again. So many details I've seen that I didn't catch up while watching this movie in 2D setting. So many details. It's just unbelievable. And by the way, fun fact for those who are watching and who will be watching here. It's a bonus fun fact for you. The proper launch of Somnium Space, when we went out of alpha and we went and kind of launched already the second version of Somnium Space, has happened the same day as the global release of Ready Player One. And we had this party and launch party in Prague where we had some YouTubers and some people invited. And then we all went to the movie. We hired the movie theater as a private viewing, like the whole huge room, whole huge movie theater, only for us to watch the pre-release of Ready Player One, because the official release was the next day, but for a private setting, they allowed us to view it from the midnight, I think, or from 11 in the evening. So the cinema in Prague had already the rights to show it to us. And we had a private viewing of Ready Player One, probably before the 99% of people in the world saw it. And I remember the day we had Somnium Space logo on the movie screen there. It was just so cool. And yeah, just a fun fact for you. But I rewatched that movie and I was mesmerized. But then, of course, when I received this, I did the immersive experience. They had Alicia Keys' video, unbelievable quality of 360 or a 180 stereoscopic video, unbelievable quality. Then I did the several other movies like Adventures and Dinosaurs, incredible quality, not even close to anything you've seen before in IMAX, and we have IMAX in Prague, or other movies. It's just not even close. Literally, it's not even close. I own the projector, Epson projector with the glasses, a 3D projector. It's good, but it's nowhere near this quality. And then there is a trailer, immersive experiences trailer in Apple TV Plus for this device. And when I played this, I had goosebumps. I actually made a Twitter post about that. They show you short, like it's a very well made, trailer, but they show you small pieces of things which are coming to Vision Pro and experiences. And oh my God, I'm not a football or soccer fan at all. Like I'm not into football. I'm into tennis, for example. But they showed you a moment of the match where your camera, 180, super crisp, you're in a stadium, your camera is above the goalkeeper. And you see the whole stadium, and you see the football players, and they, you know, there's a moment where he gives a pass to one player, and then the football player shoots to the goalkeeper, misses, but the ball comes back, and then he shoots again, and he scores a goal. Man, I said, wow, I would watch that match like this. I would pay $10, $15 to go to a football match of my choice, or to any sports event. If you bring me these cameras to Wimbledon, if you bring me these cameras, Apple, dear Apple, if you bring me these cameras to Wimbledon, I guarantee you for the final of the Wimbledon, for the final match or for several hours, I will pay you 100 euros to watch it in VR. I will do it. First of all, because it's very difficult to get to Wimbledon and the tickets are more expensive than that. Second of all, you need to travel. I would pay you that amount of money for one match to watch it in that quality. Please do it. I'm ready to do that. I will give myself a present one time per year when the Wimbledon is there, and I will watch the final match in this quality. I guarantee you that. And I guarantee you, dear Apple, that I will not be alone. There will be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who will do that. And oh my God, it will open up the new possibilities for sports and for entertainment and for anything else. It's that incredible. I cannot state how incredible it is. And again, have I seen tons of VR videos and 180 videos and 360 videos in the past? Of course I did. We even have a capability in Somnium to put, 360 videos on your parcel. And I recorded video probably 4 years ago when I entered I had a 360 camera running and live streaming from my kitchen. And then I was in the next room, and I went into my parcel, I went into the 360 bubble, which was showing my kitchen in live stream, and then I went physically into the kitchen and I saw myself I did these crazy things all the time. We do these crazy things all the time. Stereoscopic 360 experience is perfect. But oh my God, this trailer just absolutely blew me away. Blew me away. Knocked me out of my legs. I was lying down on the floor, theoretically. But it completely mesmerizes me. That's how good it is. That's the difference between this being a gimmick and this being a go-to device. And the same with Disney Plus. I have to give them the credit. They prepared a Vision Pro app with cool environments, with re-encoded movies, and they thought about it. They worked together to bring this app, and I applaud them. The same with HBO. They did it. The HBO Max is there. And IMAX app is there, and you have the free IMAX movie. You can watch 3D movie in this. Incredible. And this will revolutionize education, entertainment, sports, and God knows how many other things. This is the future of entertainment. And again, it's a big difference between being a gimmick and being a go-to device for everyday watch. So every day after my work is done, in the evening, few hours, I take half an hour and I watch whatever I decide to watch at that time. And it's amazing, amazing. So yeah, go-to device for entertainment, and it will revolutionize everything you know. Let's talk about technical part, because as I told you, I'm building my own VR headset, VR1. It's a PC VR headset, so they're in a very different categories, but I know my bit about optics, about screens, about all the technical things. And there's one more video coming soon in this channel. It will come after this review, where myself and the CEO of Hypervision, Artur, and Hypervision is one of the best companies for the optics in the world. They're producing incredible pancake optics for VR headsets. In fact, their next gen pancake optics will be used in a VR2 headset in some new space, but that's a different story. We are recording the video with him, going deep into the optics of the Vision Pro. But let me take for a second just ahead of someone who is into hardware and discuss how good is the hardware, especially the optical stack. Now, when I took on the headset for the first time, I'm using, VR1 has high quality, really high quality. I would say one of the highest qualities pass-through capabilities with the cameras on the market right now. So I'm used to high quality pass-through. I'm doing it every day. I'm testing it. I'm used to those kind of things. When I took the Vision Pro for the first time, my first reaction was, oh wow, I thought it would be a bit sharper, but it's still amazing. I thought, okay, I don't have enough, it's a little bit dimmer than I would want it to be. So I want it to be a little bit more vibrant. But I know why they did it, probably because they wanted to keep your environment consistent, and they wanted to have, they didn't want to have this blow up things. Like if you look at the window in Vision Pro, through the window and it's a bright day, you would see everything there. You would see blue sky, buildings and stuff. If you take Quest 3, for example, and you look through the window bright day, you just see the white square. You don't see nothing at all. So they did a great job with dynamic range. Latency, incredible. The latency of, everything feels right. The depth correction of how they, how you perceive the depths, incredible. It's really well made. The objects are exactly where you think they should be. Would I want it to have more vibrant colors? Yes. Would I want it to be a bit brighter? Yes. In terms of field of view, in VR, I'm the field of view guy. I want 120 plus field of view. I'm used to it on VR1. I want high field of view, especially in social VR setting. It's very important. Here, I would love it to have a better field of view, especially in MR. You kind of feel it that it's, it's kind of like it basically, the field of view is repeating the shape of this headset. Not that crazy, but it does. It just like you kind of feel it. You're in the headset in the field of view. Does it bother me? No. Would I want it to be better? Yes. Will it make a difference if next generation of Vision Pro will have a higher field of view? Yes. Are they now on the limit of what's possible in this form factor for the pancake lenses? Oh yes, they are. They have encountered, like, that what made me very happy actually, because when I took this headset for the first time on, I realized that, hey, even Apple is bound to the same physical problems and physics as we are battling with in Somnium VR1 and Hypervision in their endeavors. And I would dare to say, in some cases, we are even further. It's just about the trade-offs. Where did they decide to make trade-off? They wanted, obviously, they have a small size displays, 1.4 inch. That's a big difference between, what Somnium uses or other headsets. It's a small headset, a small display. And given how small the lenses are on this device, they've squeezed the maximum effective sweet spot FOV they could have squeezed. I guarantee you that. They've done an amazing job there. Now, immediately I started to look around, and me being me, okay, is there any chromatic aberration? Is there any color leaking and things like that? And on the sides, there is. Like, if you look for it, you'll find it. If you just use the device for productivity and for entertainment, you don't care. Like, you literally don't care. Again, would I wish that field of view is bigger? I would love to, and probably the next gen, I'll keep that for our video, our guesses of what the field of view will be and what lenses they will use and how they will do it. But it doesn't bother me just because everything else is so good there. One thing which bothers me a bit, which I notice quite a lot, which I think they need to improve for the next gen, is glare. The glare, when you have a dark environment and a bright scene, you see those, artifacts, you see the reflections, and that glare does bother me in some scenes, during some movies mainly, and that is a bit annoying. Other than that, I would say optics, 9 out of 10, given the constraints of the physics and the screen size they have. So they've done an amazing job with the optics. It's very good, the very good sweet spot. with minimum distortions, just on the tiny bit outside. Again, I wish the brightness would be higher, especially in the path-through. I wish the field of view would be higher. I wish that glare was not there. But overall, I'm satisfied with what they did. And I also realized that they're battling the same demons in physics as we are, which is, hey, Apple, I get you. And you get me, and we get each other, you know, man. Team. So let's finalize this, because I think this review already gets quite long. Let's finalize this and talk about what I think overall. Like, for example, this battery. Does it bother me, this battery? I know it will sound crazy, and I know people will say like, Apple apologist, fanboy, or whatever. It does not bother me. I think it's a smart move. Why? Because I think Apple knows, and I might be wrong, but I'll do a prediction here. I think Apple wants you to get used to having something like this with a cable connected to your glasses, because that's the only way how we can get to a smaller form factor and something you would probably wear outside connected to your iPhone. And I think that's where the two different product categories will start. You have Vision Pro, but the category of Apple products are called Vision. So not this year, but next year, we might get two categories. We might get Vision Pro 2 and Vision Lite, or just Vision. And those Vision glasses might be something which you know, which you will wear outside, which will kind of mimic your iPhone and iOS apps, but will do it spatially, and you will be able to do 60% of what you do on Vision Pro in, you know, in less, probably in less quality, or maybe in less power and performance, but it will be still amazing. And I think that's two categories, and that's how they will be able to do, because they will offload the compute to iPhone, or they will in the future offload some of the compute maybe here for the Vision Pro, until the technology is so advanced that they can bring it all in one unit and it will be more ergonomically fine. So that's my prediction there. So I don't mind the battery, the quality. It just reminds me of the iPhone 1, the material, the aluminum material on the iPhone 1. It's amazing quality. It runs, actually, they played very safely here, because Apple said photon to eye latency is 12 milliseconds. Apple said it will hold you 2 hours of content consumption at work. The reality is photon to eye latency 11 milliseconds, so better than Apple said. Battery life 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm getting 3 hours out of this beast, you know, mixed work, lots of windows and stuff. So again, better than Apple announced. They played really safe. They let you, you know, charge it to. So the capacity which is written here is actually more than what they let you to use inside. So they have a 20% buffer just to be in case, because you discharge it very often, and they want this battery to last. Incredible. It's better than they advertised. How often does that happen in the tech industry today? Not much, honestly. So kudos to Apple for that. And I don't think outside battery is a problem. Never bothered me. I just put it somewhere in the pocket or put it on the table. Boom. All good. Now, let's also talk a little bit about, in this outro, I'll just smash things together, which I think I need to mention. Personas are amazing. Personas will get better. Personas are something which is, you know, which I'll use, and I'm using every day as well. What I wanted to say is also that this device is a revolution, and it's a bigger revolution than iPhone was. It is a bigger revolution. It will finally shift us from working on 2D screens and having VR, AR as gimmick to something which is mainstream. I was making fun of VR, you know, we are building Somnius Space, so we're software VR developers. And I was making fun of our guys and also of all the other guys in the industry. I'm saying like, hey, watch how people who have no experience in VR or iOS developers who will get their hands on Vision Pro will start making better spatial and immersive apps than all the VR veterans until today. And I still believe this will be true. And I already see first glimpse of those things coming into Vision Pro. And I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. This is just insane. So the Apple developer ecosystem is strong. people are very creative, and people are really taking care and taking time to build something really nice. So I like that as well. What else do I have to say about this? Look, I think it's really, really nice. I think it's revolution. We're already making steps. So I have two companies. I run Somnium Space and I run Authenticity. Authenticity is a decentralized social media platform, and Somnium is obviously is a social VR platform and a hardware producer. And while hardware doesn't, this device doesn't affect hardware decisions, the software decisions it does, because Somnium Space will be on Apple Vision Pro and will port the experience. We already, we have the device here in the work, and we have a MacBook, and we'll be developing on it for that. So stay tuned for that. But Authenticity is also being ported to this device, because I just see how important that device is for the future. And that's the power of this device, right? That's the power of also Apple. That's the power of a good device. This is not a gimmick. This is a legit amazing device. And while it costs 7 times more than any other average headset on the market or whatever, it freaking delivers the promise of this being everyday compute device which you'll wear and be productive in. It does. And if people tell you this is the gimmick, it's too heavy, it's blah, 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 give me a break. Yes, it might be a bit heavy sometimes and stuff like that, but it's nowhere near being uncomfortable. I am able to wear this 3 hours in a row without even moving it once on my face. Literally. If I want to mention one downside, which I would probably say, is that somehow for me it was a bit hard, and it's a bit hard to read the phone screen and to kind of like concentrate and focus on the phone screen and to see small letters there. Sometimes I have to like just put it a little bit up to see the SMS code if I'm logging somewhere. But other than that, literally, it almost has no flaws. The big flaws. It doesn't have big flaws, It doesn't have deal breakers. This device doesn't have deal breakers. It has great software, which is improving. But in 2 weeks' time, I have this device. It updated 3 times, and then there is probably another beta already available. But 3 stable updates, like how often do you get that? They work hard on this, and they bet their future. And another thing is, you have to realize, if Apple entered this market, they have their 10-year plan already. They know what products are coming. They're already testing them in the labs. So it's not like they're putting this and then in 1 year they say, sorry, it didn't work, we didn't sell enough. No. They will push it so much. They're betting big part of their future of the company on this device. And I don't think they will back down. I think they will succeed. From seeing what they already delivered, they will succeed. This is the best first-gen VR headset or AR headset ever. And this is the best first-gen product Apple ever produced. And this is the most complex first-gen product I've probably seen in my life. And I lived through several revolutions. I'm not that old, but I lived through personal computers and an internet and then iPhone and, other stuff. And this just feels more important for the way how we'll interact with our environment and how we'll interact with our future. I tell to my kids, because they are also interested in this, right? And they're seeing me talking about it at home and stuff. And I tell them, like, guys, remember this device. This device will start what you, because they're 10 and 7, what you will be experiencing every day and how you will be working in 10 years every day. This is the device which made that happen. Remember really well this device, my friends, because this is it. And they understand it. They like, okay, yeah, they tried it. They loved it. The onboarding experience was easy, as I told you before. So yeah, Apple, you nailed it. And please continue. Please build the future. And please continue to be a company which really, really thinks through what you are doing. I've not been Apple fan, and I was criticizing Apple for like small iterative incremental improvements on iPhones for the last 5 years. But I said last year, before they announced Vision Pro, I said to all my friends, and I said, guys, if they will deliver on the promise of XR, and if they do it really well, I will forgive them anything I said about them, and I will be back an Apple fan because they deserve it. I'm not bound to any company emotionally. I use Samsung's from the first Samsung Note to the Galaxy Fold 3. Every year I bought the flagship phone, I didn't miss a single phone, probably maybe Note 4 or something. And I switched last year because they stopped innovating. So while I like Samsung a lot, and I hope they will jump on the XR thing and do something here, I'm not emotionally bound to them, right? If someone else comes with a better product, I will go and I will use that product. And Apple did it. Apple got me, and I'm happily back in the Apple ecosystem. And because of this device, I will be getting more into the Apple ecosystem. And that is my word. If you have $3,500 and you want to become more creative and you want to prepare yourself for the future, if you are a designer and you want to know how people will work with the designs, if you're a developer, if you are an enthusiast, if you are someone who is about technologies and who loves technologies and wants to be on the cutting edge, if you are someone who wants to know how the future of spatial computing will look like, you better spend the $3,500 right now. You better go to Apple Store and make a demo, because if you don't, you're making a huge mistake, you're missing out, and you're not going to be understanding how the future will evolve without understanding how this device works. So with that, I would like to finish my review. Thank you for watching. If you're watching, for those 5 people who are still watching here, thank you. I hope it brought you something, and see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.